The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only. Any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk.
Hey everybody, this is Miley.
And this is Porby.
And you're listening to That's What We Said, a podcast where we offer our insight on a variety of topics that touch our lives and probably yours on a daily basis. Porby, I love when we record our podcasts.
Why?
Because it's fun. I like talking to you. I do. I do. We have good chats.
Yes, we do.
We have good chats when they're recorded. When we're not recorded, we'd be getting on each other's nerves. But on a serious note, I do love our podcast. I do love chatting with you. I feel like I could be open with you and talk about all kinds of stuff. So, you're a bitch.
Yo ho.
Yes, thank you. See, now that we got that out. So since we last recorded, lots of activity going on with my life, with my family. So my mom is currently in the hospital right now.
Oh,
yeah, it's really sad. So long story short, she has 2nd and 3rd degree burns on the right side of her face because she had an accident when she was cooking. So she's been in the hospital and it's been quite the experience for me. And this is what I want to talk to you about. Our topic is our aging parents. I mean, we talked a lot about ourselves aging, but now, obviously we're getting older. Our parents are getting older too. So I've always had this opinion about, looking at my parents and I see them. I look at my mom. I look at both of them, but I think about me entering middle age. And then I looked behind me. I look at my daughter who is entering her adulthood. And then I look in front of me at my mom. And there's some days where I feel like sad, like, oh my God, my mom, she's not what she used to be. Now, seeing her in the hospital, though, it's 10 times worse because she went through surgery. She's basically like helpless because, she has bandages over her head and we're helping her do like normal day-to-day stuff. Obviously, the nurses are there too. But so the other day, there was one particular incident where she just got out of surgery. She couldn't really communicate what was going on, like with words, and she was getting frustrated, and we didn't know what she was trying to tell us. And her face was angry, it was contorted in anger. And she's looking at me and my sister like, "Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you guys can't figure out what I want." And then we still couldn't figure it out. And then I just saw a tear going down her eye, and I felt so sad, and I wanted to turn away and just start crying.
That tear was, I don't understand.
Probably frustration that she couldn't communicate, and we weren't understanding what she wanted. So that was like a lot for me. I had to turn around. Yeah, a little bit. And then I look at my mom and dad, and they're definitely, elderly, aging. They can't really do all the same things that I'm used to. They're my parents, right? So I always look to them like, they could do everything. So now it's just been a little bittersweet. I mean, my mom is fine. She's recovering from her injuries, but it's just been bittersweet looking at her being a little bit more.
That they're aging.
Yeah.
And it's hard for.
So how do we do that? What do we tell ourselves?
It's
what do you do?
Cycle, right? That's just, everything is a life cycle. I mean,
yeah.
I go through the same thing. I was telling you a couple of weeks ago that I went to go see my family and my parents, and I can visibly now see them aging.
Aww.
When we're growing up, we're like, whatever, mom will always be there, dad will always be there. You don't see.
Yeah.
They're like healthy, happy, doing everyday things. But then, I think one year it just kind of hits hard or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit.
It's like overnight.
Yeah, like overnight.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like you look at them and you're like, oh my God, they can't do the things.
Right.
And I find myself getting really frustrated at my parents because I'm like, why don't you know how to do this? Or why don't you do this? Or you used to be able to do this, because my mom is kind of afraid of, she's been driving for years, like 30 years she's been driving. And then all of a sudden she started getting this fear of driving on the highway.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Mom, you've been driving for 30 years. Why are you so scared to get on the highway? And for me, I was just being a total bitch.
Yeah.
Like, why are you acting this way, right? It's kind of like dealing with a child, like, why are you acting like this right now?
You can do this.
Doing this for so long, so long. Like, what's going on? And then it kind of hit me that, like,
you have to be nice to her.
That's just not. Yeah, I mean, I do definitely I am nice, but it hit me that like, oh, she's probably nervous because now her confidence and her eyesight and her hearing, they're all depleting a little, so she's getting more and more scared.
Yes.
Like, what if I can't hear or see a car in my blind spot? When we're young, we're like, whatever, we got the whole road, you know?
Exactly.
But so these little things started kind of like creeping up. And like, you know, and then I used to get irritated because I'm like, how come you don't remember this? We just talked about it. Like, why are you forgetting? Like, you know, we did this yesterday. How come you don't remember? And it would frustrate me. Then I'm thinking like,
you have to be more patient, because I've seen that a lot. I've seen so many things about how to deal with kids, but then I've seen many things about how to deal with your aging parents. And and one thing that I heard, or I was always told, with your parents, you have to be patient with them, and then you have to visit them. And so I know for you, because your parents are on the East Coast, right? My parents are like 5 minutes away. I don't go see them as much as I would like. So now when I think about this, you know, what happened with my mom, I'm thinking, God, you know, there's a little bit of guilt, because I'm thinking, wow, I should see them more often, right? But how do you deal with it, because your parents are in the East Coast?
Every other day, we
that's good. Oh, thank God for technology.
I know, technology does help a lot. I mean, it does hurt my heart that I can't, like, just the other day.
Oh, that hurts my heart, to know that your heart is hurting.
I know, I do have a heart.
It's not made of tin?
No.
It's not a hollow shell?
No, the other day I was like, I kind of miss them. Like, I miss her. I miss hanging out with her. But then when I'm there, she drives me insane.
Okay, you're like, I could only take you in doses, Mama.
I mean, it's also myself. It's not her fault. It's my patience. It's my irritations. It's my the small. I mean, she's been doing the same thing forever. It's just me, like, now being like, what's going on? Like, you know, why are you changing? And and then so as kids of elderly parents, I think we have to understand that they're going through a transition, and they're scared of that transition too. We need to be really understanding, because they're going through the same thing that we are, that transition. I mean, they're, you know, getting reports that, oh, now you have diabetes and you have cholesterol and your eyesight's going and you have cataract and your hearing's going. Yeah, and so they're like, oh crap, I'm about to die. And we're like, oh crap, you about to die.
Don't make me laugh. You're talking about death, woman.
I know, but so
it's true.
Yeah, so I think for us, we need to just be really, you know, spend a lot. Like, I try to see my parents and talk to them as much as I can, because I don't want the regret to be like, oh, I should have spent more time with them and I didn't. I want to absorb all the parent love or parent time that I can get, because
while they're here, because you don't want to, I'm not trying to talk about our parents in the afterlife, but it is really sad. And this, my mom being in the hospital just made me realize, you know, there's a little bit of guilt there. And I feel bad for feeling guilty.
You should. You're a bad daughter.
I feel guilty because Parvi's my friend. She's keeping me away from my parents.
Actually, you're supposed to go see your mom anyway. And I'm like, no, girl, you spend time with me.
I know.
You're choosing your mother over me?
Mama.
What? What is this?
Me from my mama, Parvi. But yeah, I think just seeing my mom in the state she is, and feeling a little bit of guilt that having such a busy life, doing all the things that I want to do, and just taking for granted my parents are just over the hill. I mean, literally over the hill.
Over the hill, like they're about to jump off.
Over a hill.
They're about to jump off that hill and go to heaven.
Right. Ooh, girl.
No, and it's true, because I was talking to my friend the other day, and her grandfather, still alive, is almost 90-something years old. And he's healthy as could be. A very healthy man. Almost, he's probably like 97. And he just got ill the other day, and everybody was shocked because he's such a good man, and they're like, he was so healthy. Like, you know, he walks around and talks around. He had a stroke.
Oh my God.
And I think everybody was just like shocked. They're like, oh crap, time is coming very close. We know that he's 100, but we think number, but we don't think equivalent to death. Like, we're not like, oh, he might not be here next year. We don't think like that, right? We're like, yeah, he just had his 100th birthday, yay, you know, or whatever. But we don't really think about,
because you see him and he looks so lively and vibrant. Even.
And it's just like really scary, because but again, like, it's inevitable. Luckily, we've had our parents for up to this time. Some kids lose their parents really young age, you know, or they don't even grow up with parents or whatnot. But I think we're fortunate, knock on wood, to have spent all that time with them and had them in our lives. We just need to make sure that we respect the time that they have now.
And always remember that, because you think about all the things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. I already feel like, oh God, I don't have enough time in my day to do the things that I want to do, right? And so I take for granted
They're not a
my
priority
parents.
anymore.
Exactly. That's you said it out loud.
I
think
did.
That's the sad thing. I think maybe that was kind of going through my mind, because it really isn't. I mean, and I'm only speaking for myself, because I know that, you know, my siblings, they see I'm probably the worst child ever.
Yeah, I
'cause
told you, bad daughter.
I know, bad daughter. No cookie.
You go in a hail. I mean, you go for a lot of other things too.
I got a reservation in hell. Like, you don't even have to worry about that. But
There's already fire happening in the house.
it's already burning in my ass. But yeah, I do. I feel like I am probably the worst of all the kids, because
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I think now, when I think about the things like, say, my older siblings do, I know at least my oldest sister, she's the one that goes over and helps my mom. Like, back in the day when my mom used to color her hair, it was my older sister who would do it.
But again, those are love languages.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, and my love language is just
Words of affirmation. So you just being there and telling your mom that, you know, you love her and whatever, and just being you and being jokeful and stuff, that shows her that you're there. Everybody has to, your sister, her words, her love language is act of kindness.
yeah.
And
Or
so she's act of service, sorry, and she's doing that. So
Yeah, but
you can't.
The only thing is, though, I'm not there as often as I should be.
So you don't have to, if you can't physically be there, call her or
I know.
do
Well,
something
I call if
else.
She can't hear me.
Unless she can. She turns off her hearing aid every time Miley calls. She's like, "You're talking
I
too
don't wanna
much.
hear you. I don't
You
wanna
talk
hear
too
you.
much."
But yeah, I
but do something that makes you feel better with her. Then maybe do a date night with her every week or something. Like take her to
She does
movies.
she does want to go to Macy's. Like,
Yeah.
to buy
So take her to Macy's, and it's good for her to walk around a little bit too. And
see, the only thing with my mom, it's harder for her to get around now.
Now,
Like, you know,
yeah.
maybe she has a knee issues or something, but it's harder for her. No, that's just talking about my mom, right? I'm thinking about my dad. My dad is still like up and kicking, right? So he bowls every Monday, or at least he used to. But seeing him now, I don't think he doesn't drive as much as he used to. I think he had an accident last year. Well, I don't think he had an accident. He had an accident. I think either he just choosing not to drive as much. But even seeing him not being able to do things that he normally would be able to do is kind of like eye-opening. And it is. There's a part of it that's really sad. But I think, like you said earlier, there's nothing that we can do about it. I think just having that reminder that, you know, don't take it for granted and spend more time with them.
yeah.
I mean, I should feel
In any way that you want. It doesn't have to be physical sometimes, right? I can't physically be there for my parents, but I talk to my mom and we like jab on the phone, you know, or like whatever you can do that's going to make you feel like, okay, I did my part with my
that
parents.
you were there. Because I mean, I know, knock on wood, I don't want to sound really awful or anything. I just felt like, God, if anything were to happen to my parents, I'd probably feel some guilt, because I'd probably look back and think, man, you know, I didn't spend as much time with them as I could have. I mean, we live in the same city. I'm like, I feel lucky that all of my siblings are here. We live in the Bay Area, and then my parents are here too.
But what do you honestly think you can do to help you not feel guilty?
I know.
What? You have to
maybe
think
it's on
about
me.
it.
I think maybe it's as simple as what you said, just going to spend more time with my parents. You know what I mean? I think...
Or have them over your house every Friday or Sunday for dinner or something, or go over there.
Or go there, bring the kids. I know they love to see the kids.
Yeah, bring the kids every Sunday night.
Just have to
That's
do
what
that.
that's what my
I
sister
used to,
does.
You know, it used to be this thing, like when my kids were younger, like, okay, every Sunday I'm going to go to my mom and dad's house. I mean, there'll be some days they'll be like, okay, well, they're not here. But now it's more than likely they're going to be home. So I think I just have to reinstate going back to my parents' house and hanging out.
Yeah, like at least once a week.
And I
Or
don't want it to feel like, oh, Miley, you're just doing it just so you know, you're not going to feel guilt when they
no, but
move
you
to the afterlife.
you genuinely want to be there with them.
do.
Okay, so then that's
do.
not.
I do.
You're still going to hell no matter what you do. You're just gonna have to tell your family.
Make a deposit.
Yeah, like no matter what I do, you guys, I'm going to hell still. This is not
know.
a selfish act.
Mama, Papa, I'm gonna go to hell, but I'm gonna spend time with you
Yeah,
anyway.
it's not a selfish act. You're gonna go anyway.
But
So
it is still really sad seeing my mom. I mean, there's sometimes, you know, just seeing her
yeah,
it's really sad, but I think just being with her is helping.
Yeah. And you know, like, I mean, I'm sure she's got a lot of time on this earth. So you can't be, you know, sad about any of that.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, our parents are aging and we're seeing it and it's shocking us, it's hurting us, and it's okay. Like, it's just, our kids are going to go through it too. They're going to see you, they're going to have to wipe your bum eventually, Miley, next year when you turn your 50 years old.
You know what's funny is that's literally, I came full circle because I did have to help wipe my mom's bum, and it was kind of like, oh, okay. And then I was with my older sister, and like she's laughing because she's already done all that. Again, like going back to the point where I think my older sister has done more for my mom and dad than I did. So like that day in the hospital when I had to wipe my mom's bum, I was like, okay, full circle.
Full circle.
But I did it.
You did.
I just went right in. I was like, let's get this. But it was funny. You want to hear something hilarious?
No.
My mom was pissed at me because
you didn't wipe
I had to help her wipe her bum, right? So I took that wipe, girl. I didn't just wipe her bum. I like wiped down her whole entire leg, and she was like, "What the hell?" Like, I feel wet now. So she told me, "Give me toilet paper." So I grabbed toilet paper, and I pulled that roll and I had them in a bunch. I handed it to my mom. My mom looks at me and she's like, square, put it in a square. So I had to put the toilet paper in a square and hand it to my mom. I had to wipe her down because I treated her like my car. I'm like, let me wipe her down.
Yeah.
But
hose her up.
to hose her down. But yeah, that just felt kind of like, I'm sure my mom didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody.
Dignity.
Yeah,
there, right?
I'm sure no elderly parents are like, oh yeah, go ahead and wipe me, thank you. Like, who does that, right?
So, I was happy to do it though.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so just, I think,
I'll do it for you.
just remember, it's a transition for both of you. Your parents are going through hell aging, and you're going through hell watching them age.
Exactly.
So just gotta be patient, gotta be understanding. I have to not yell at my mom or like be more irritable.
Don't yell at me.
I definitely will always yell at you.
Irritable.
Yeah.
To me.
No.
Don't make me irritable towards you.
Are we in Esau? Why are you talking like we're in Esau? Am I teaching you English right now?
Yes.
Don't be mean to me.
Repeat after me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, I hated, I do feel guilty at the fact that this was my reminder.
Yeah.
Like having my mom at the hospital. Although I always had that in the back of my head. Like, God, I should really go see Mama and Papa. I really should see them. That's
your body telling you should go see them.
Maybe, huh? Wait, what?
Your intuitions are always right?
No, that's
If your intuition's saying something, then do something about it, right?
No.
And that's why when I wake up, sometimes I feel like, oh, I miss my parents, and I call my mom, like, okay, I need to call her,
right.
Because it's our body telling us.
I just have to go. I just have to be like,
see,
I gotta listen to my arm's like, hey, yo.
Yeah. Stop being
but
selfish.
my other arm is like, wait,
Miley.
but you gotta do this.
Miley's always selfish. It's always about her.
It's always about me, except for when it comes to the podcast. It's all about Porby. Let me tell you, the next podcast is going to be about that. The next podcast, I'm going to record secretly with that.
Oh, I already did that about you.
Oh, when's that coming out? Episode 20? Well,
Yes, it'll be our finale episode.
Hey, this is going to be episode 18.
18, right?
Yeah,
18, yeah. Wow, we're doing good. We're doing
Scary.
good.
We're still going.
We're still going.
We still have a lot of improvement, but I think I enjoy it. I
do
said
too.
at the beginning of this podcast, I enjoy just chatting with you, and I think that's the point of this podcast. We were just two girls that were just bouncing off ideas about a certain topic, right?
Yes.
I think along the way we've entertained people. Maybe we've irritated people. Maybe we've irritated each other. So.
And I'm sure we've, said things that other people don't, find similarities to.
Right.
But hey,
maybe we said
that's what we
things.
said for a reason.
Exactly. We equals me and Porby.
Yes.
Poor we and my we.
I don't want to see your we.
You want to see me wee? No. Anyway, so thanks for talking to me. It kind of felt like a therapy session.
Yeah, I think that's what this is actually. It's kind of like therapeutic. Yeah.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we just got to get in a room and I just need to tell you, Porby, you are a bitch.
I know.
It's okay. Just
I'm okay being that. It's my eyebrows. We talked about this already.
And not just your eyebrows. Yeah.
Is it the eyebrow above my lip?
It's the eyebrow above your... You're stupid. So, with that note, thank you everybody for listening. If you have elderly parents, if you are the elderly parent listening, just remember your parents are aging. They want to see you. And also be patient with them. They've wiped your ass before. And if you have to wipe their ass, you got to do it.
And don't be a jerk about it.
Don't be a jerk. Yeah. Porvi, that's one way you're not a jerk. Sounds like you're really
I'm going to
good
get my
child.
mom a bidet.
A bidet or a bidet?
A bidet.
A bidet. A bidet?
A bidet.
She
A
got
bidet.
Yeah, I like that. Bidet.
Right? Because then it just water washes it out for you and you just kind of quickly wipe down.
Filipinos have these little
hose?
We call it a tabo. No, it's literally like a little plastic cup. You just walk. Put your hot water in.
Yeah, Indians do that too. In India, yeah.
So you guys have a bidet.
But in America or Japan and China, they have bidets, which is built into you can put it into your toilet and then you just press the button and it squirts out little water.
It's like a little water fountain.
Yeah,
For your
and you just clean it off.
So we
easier.
digress. Thank you for talking to me about my parents, Porvi.
You're welcome.
And thank you everybody for listening. Please visit our website. Email us at that'swhatwesaidpc@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We would love to get topic suggestions.
Yeah, tell us what you want to hear.
Reach out to us. We're here. Ellen, reach out to us. We are here. We are waiting. And Ellen, we are watching you. We're all elderly. So let's get me and Porvi on your show before we're all elderly. So
Yes.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Bye.
Porvi, so my mom is in the hospital because I punched a bitch.
Oh my god. Oh my god.